Going home? What's going on, good
What's
people?
going on, everybody? How is everybody doing? I am Lamar, and that's my brother, Casey Fowler.
Yes,
This is
sir.
a Fowl Language Podcast. I don't know what episode we on right now. It's
56.
56,
I
I
think it's
think.
six. Yeah,
Yeah, we'll go with
56.
that.
Yeah.
So it's been one of those days, but we here. We got accessories. We
Yes, sir.
recording, and we gonna chop it up and have a good time.
Man,
So
I needed this one today,
yeah.
boy. Let's
So
go.
even after all the silly shit, a cigar and a drink will make it all better.
Hell yeah, man. And like every episode, get your kiddies to bed, get your accessories lit, poured, whatever, because you might just hear some foul language. Let's get it, man.
Got that right. Roll the intro.
Perfect.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the show, part of the show, where we talk about our, various accessories and stuff.
Yes.
The cigar check-in. So, bruh, what you smoking? What you drinking tonight, bruh?
All right, so tonight I have the Mysterious Tiger from my cigar pack. So we'll see how that works.
Very
Seems pretty
ribbon.
good. Yeah, it's a tiger on it, And then I went, and we'll talk about it in what's best. So I re-up on my stout. It's the Utopias Worldwide Stout from Dogfish Head. If I think this one's right, I think it's the one that has ingredient from every continent. I think it's this one. I have to read it and see.
But I think try it just for that. I don't even drink shit.
It really doesn't make that much of a difference.
Oh, but never mind.
I mean, it's a good beer, but it really doesn't make that fucking much of a difference. I think it's Utopias because Dogfish Head is now under Sam Adams.
Oh, really?
And yeah, Utopias is their beer, and it looks like it's like a $200 bottle. It almost pours like a cognac. It's good shit. And so it might be something mixed in with that. So I'll read the bottle in one of the breaks, and I'll figure it out for the next check-in. So, what about you? What you got going on with your situation?
Oh, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys watched the last episode, I mentioned that I said I was thinking about trying something new as far as my liquid accessory. Yeah, man, I went with some Jameson Black Barrel whiskey this time, and something different. And that bitch was on sale, so I was like, fuck it.
I was gonna say, don't say it's something you hadn't had before.
Yeah, I've had, Jameson and stuff like. I've never bought that a bottle one before myself.
Okay, there we go.
I've never owned a bottle myself, and I've never drank it on the show before. So for our viewers, elder one, it's something new. And then my cigar, something else I've never had before. It's a Black Star Line, right? Line. Black Star Line, the Lalibib. Yeah, that shit.
Normally I correct you, but I can't remember what it is. I got one in the house. Yeah, I will put it. I'll write it down here for those that really want to know, because he don't know what the hell he talking about.
Yeah, no. Hold on. I know him to show it. It's the Lalibib. Yeah, that shit. Don't make that face at me, damn it. But this, I lit it, and that shit hit like a fucking wrecking ball, boy. I hit that. I just tapped that motherfucker, and I was like, oh god, not again. So if I'm like last episode, guys, at the end, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Like I said, it's been a long fucking day. So what up?
All right, everybody. We'll let you know how they progress through the night.
Yes, sir.
All right, everybody. Before we get into the meat and potatoes, as Kevin says, let's kick it off with the what's best in life. So, brother, what is best in life? Repping the shirt. I see you.
Yes, sir. Hey, man. A lot of things, man. Like I said, it has been a long weekend. I had drill this weekend, so it was a little rough, a little rocky, a little busy, but hey, I made it through it. But there are some real positive notes, man. So let's jump into that. So first, I want to say my in-laws is here. My mother-in-law's been here for about 2 weeks now. And it's really good having her around. She's enjoying the boys, we're enjoying the company, things like that, man. I finally got to meet my wife's blood brother, my brother-in-law.
You met him.
He came, yeah. So he's in town. We just been chopping it up a little bit, man. Real solid dude, man. My show, one of my favorite shows, is finally. I've been waiting on season 5 for like 2.5 years or so. The Last Kingdom, season 5, which I believe is the final season, is fucking amazing. I don't know if you've seen it yet, bro.
I haven't.
If you like Game of Thrones and all that type of shit, like I know you do, you'll really fucking enjoy The Last Kingdom. I mean, it's kind of typical. you know, so that might turn you off on it because I know you don't like the typical shit. I'm starting to get that way too. That's why The Witcher, but that's something for
It's a time and place for everything though.
Yeah. And then Shania, which I'm not gonna forget this time, guys. I always know I said I'm gonna send a picture so we can go in here, but I'm definitely gonna send this one this time, especially because it's her birthday month. But Shania had a military ball yesterday. And she went to the military ball, and actually Tanaja, our other niece, ladies and gentlemen, and Mama went to the military ball also. So there's a picture of all three of them that I'm gonna put right here. I'm gonna send it to you tomorrow so we get it. So
we'll get it because I actually already have the picture, so we don't have to wait on his ass.
Yeah. So, and my knee is getting better, man. It's getting stronger. I'm actually able to start working out just a little bit, man. I can do a couple little squats and shit. So I'm trying to work out, get my body right. I'm even about to start what's that shit called? The apple cider vinegar shit. I'm gonna try that shit out and see how that works, because NCOs and stuff was telling me that shit works really, really good. Like I said, I had drill this weekend. The commander popped by, do a little walk through the motor pool like he tends to do on the weekends. The 2-star was there this weekend, and the major said, you know, all my work is not going unnoticed. The 2-star saying how fantastic of a fucking job I'm doing. The motor pool looks great. They glad the Army sent me there to get that shit right, all that bullshit like that. I mean, most people get their head pumped up about that shit. I'm just like, cool, y'all ain't gonna cut another check or no? So whatever. But you know, recognition is still a good thing, you know, especially by a fucking 2-star general. So I guess, you know, I'm doing a little something. I'm also going into another class because I'm trying to get my promotion points up. So I know I talked to you before about gunsmithing and shit like that. So I'm actually going to school to be the unit armorer. So I'm do unit level maintenance on weapons and shit like that. So that shit's gonna be fun. I'm excited about that shit because you get to fuck with just about every weapon that the Army fucking has. So I'm really fucking pumped about that fucking class, and it's actually gonna be in Fort Hood. So that's gonna be my training / mancation that I'm gonna take on the government's dime. Thank you guys.
Hey, that's the way to do it, man. Shit.
Yeah, and I hit you up yesterday. Appreciate the info. I'm gonna start working on that shit soon.
That's good shit.
I'm looking into stoicism. I've been, you know, looking, you know, you've been talking about stoics and daily stoic and everything like that. And a couple of weeks ago, I really started getting curious about exactly what the fuck stoicism really is. So I looked into it, and it's kind of falling in line with my beliefs now. My mindset and everything is falling in line with that. So I'm like, shit, I might as well study this shit and, you know, master what I feel like is coming. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm on the precipice of the shit. So, you know, I might as well go ahead and dive right in the motherfucker, bro. Like I said, man, it's a lot of shit. Almost done. But so I got another opportunity through the military. Only thing I can say is I have to have a top secret clearance, so I can't really talk too much about the job per se. But I can say that if everything goes well, by the summer, we'll be moving to that expensive ass Fort Belvoir, Virginia.
Ooh, fuck.
That shit is fucking expensive. I said, God damn.
I hate fucking driving on Belvoir. Oh, it sucks.
Oof. Man,
yeah, I'm sorry. If you go, great. But
if I don't, too.
Ass.
You know, as far as work wise, it's a new challenge. I'm doing something completely out, you know, in my comfort zone. We talk about that a lot on this show about getting out your comfort zone, doing something different. So I'm gonna try to see where it goes. Plus, top security clearance, y'all can't tell me shit. And lastly, I've been waiting on it for about 2 years. Viking Valhalla dropped, and that shit is fucking amazing. That is a great fucking show. I love the way they fucking did that, man. And like I said, it was a lot of shit for what's best in life, but that was best in life, man. What you got going on over there on your end?
All right, let's start. So first of all, if you pay, for those that really pay attention, the camera angle over here is a little bit different. I have the first iteration finally of my fucking mobile greatness AV cart, man. I got the monitor, the camera, the mic, the light. Nice. Okay. Shit is great. It's not quite perfect. Nothing you ever do is gonna be perfect. So
of course not.
I got phase 2 plans already coming. So we're gonna make a couple modifications to this, so it'll be perfect and just work just right. I had to get it in the tent because we got a cold front that I wasn't expecting. It's cool. It's in the tent. my table and shit is on the right, so I got to get used to that because I usually hold my cigars on the left hand side, so that's kind of odd. So getting used to that, but still, I like it. I just wheel this shit out here and go.
Yeah, man. You gonna put a picture in of the setup, man? I like to see this
I'll
shit.
try to put a picture in there, a little bit of video or something like that, and I'll put that in there so everybody get to see what I got going on in my situation. It's a work in progress, and we'll get it going. So Monday, I went to a little event hosted by our homeowners association.
Okay.
So they had a brewer, Martin House Brewing, where when Simone was born, we had our, I think they call it diaper party. So it's like the men equivalent of a baby shower. So,
yeah.
So we went there and they had their beer. So they usually have pretty good beer. So they came to the homeowners association, had beers, met people, met a couple of the HOA board members, was talking to them. And I met this guy who smokes meat competitively.
Okay.
And so he's like, hey man, if ever you need having a function and you don't feel like doing the cooking yourself, just let me know. We do it. So that was good.
Tell me you plugged us in.
A little bit.
Okay. Some is better than none.
Yeah. We were talking about it a little bit, but it was one of those things. It was almost like, how you doing? You know, and then we all got to talking about bourbon and whiskey and shit. So, you know how that works out.
Yep, that's when you slid it in. So we got this podcast where we do
right. So that was cool. That was pretty fun. Over the weekend, Kim had there was a women's event at church. So they had different speakers virtually, and our church hosted one of the locations. One of the pastors, she tapped Kim to kind of cater the event. So she provided the food, the snacks and hors d'oeuvres and shit for the first night. She provided like little breakfast stuff and lunch for the second day. She was really enjoying that.
Nice.
She did a phenomenal job.
Good shit.
Yeah. Looked good doing it. I told her, I was like, yep, I did good. Did really good.
Did she plug?
Well, it was weird because like people were like asking her like, so do you do this? And so she was like, not exactly. And she explained a couple people the beauty box. So nice. So she did work her way in there a little bit. So it was good times. She did good work. Ended up, my ass was on childcare the first night. Kind of fuck that happened, but hey, they needed it. So stepped up, was there.
Oh, you was watching all the little kids? The kids?
It wasn't a lot. It was probably 10 total. And I had 2 of the teenagers helping out. So it worked out.
You do that. You take this 5, you take this 5. I shall sit. Delegation. Nice.
I mean, it was some of that, but most of it was Lamar running around crazy trying to pop all the balloons. So
that's what's up, man. Y'all active in the community and shit like that. Cool,
so that was good. That was a good time. So I'm trying to think. I do believe that's about it. I watched Injustice. I think I mentioned that before. Pissed me off, but that's another topic for another day. All right, one more thing before I wrap up the what's best in life. Friday, I ended up taking some time out and going to one of my old beer spots. So I was looking for some things to record, and that's where I got the beer that I got. You know, when you go to most of the grocery stores and liquor stores and stuff here, they have about 1 trillion IPAs. They have the hazy IPAs, the dank IPAs, the double IPAs, the citrus IPAs. And I don't like IPAs anymore because there's just too many of them now. I like stouts. So this place that I go to, they have all the good shit. And so I'm in there like, ooh, I want one of these, and one of these, and one of these, and one of these. And so it was good to get in there again. And they've expanded the places I've been in there last. So went and picked up some good shit from there. So been drinking on it all weekend. So it's good times. And yeah, for me, that is what's best. If I think of anything else, you'll hear it later on.
That's what's up, man. That is definitely what's up.
All right, everybody. So I was thinking about it probably Monday night, Tuesday, after I went to the little HOA event at my amenity center. And I was listening to something where people were talking about code switching. And for those that don't know what code switching is, without going to Urban Dictionary or anything like that, code switching is a term used predominantly. I hear it in the Black community where they talk about how you talk when you're with your peers, your homeboys, your friends, and then when you go out into a professional environment, if you will, to just put it all out there. They'll say like you code switch and talk white per se.
White voice.
Yeah. There you go. So if you've ever seen Sorry to Bother You, there's a couple with Danny Glover's character. He's basically, if you ever see that clip, that's code switching in a nutshell.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I was thinking about that today, and I was like, so do you ever find that you get yourself in situations where you feel you need to code switch? Do you code switch? And how do you feel about the whole concept in general?
As far as me code switching, no. But my profession, I talk the same. I don't, I kind of tone down what I say and how I say it. Like,
Sure.
I take a little bit of the slang out. Like, I'm not gonna talk to the general and be like, what's happening, bro? You know what I'm saying? But you still have to have that level of professionalism when you're talking. It's not necessarily talking white or whatever. I'm not changing up my whole demeanor, my voice, nothing like that.
Right.
I don't know how. So, but it's in terms of talking professionally, I don't consider that code switching. And the whole thought process behind code switching, honestly and truly, I feel like that's some ignorant shit. The reason I say it's ignorant because you see, even with us growing up, because we did it. I know I did. You see a kid that's smart and he's talking properly. He's pronouncing every syllable of his words, and he's talking like he's, he put commas in his words when he talked regular. You know what I'm saying? And we consider, oh man, you talking white, all that other bullshit. And that's just a tool of ignorance. And then you see it now when people are interviewing and things like that. It's kind of like how what's his name? Marlon Wayans did his interview and Don't Be a Menace. That's kind of along the same lines of what you're hearing, because I ain't switching up for none of that shit. And a lot of people confuse the code switching. Now that I know what code switching is, they confuse the code switching with basic cooning. Really, that's the only word I can think of. They confuse the two. Oh, you trying to be like that? You trying to be white? Blah 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 blah. No, it's there's levels to that shit. There's a difference between being professional and trying to blend in when you're not one of them, because there are some definite code switchers out there. I'm not gonna say that shit don't fucking exist, but you can't categorize everybody as code switchers, because that's just like, if you was to go to the hood or something like that, motherfuckers be all, Lamar talking white, man. Lamar talk like he a white boy. No, because that's who you are. That's not necessarily you adapting to your environment, but you're an intellectual, you're intelligent, so you're not gonna dumb yourself down to be what everybody else around you is doing. And me, I like to throw motherfuckers the curveball. I want you to think I'm fucking stupid, then hit you with that bam, oh shit, that motherfucker's a genius. So in a nutshell, man, that's really what I think about fucking code switching. So yeah, man, in a nutshell, that's really my thoughts on the whole code switching thing, man. I'm really, really interested to hear what you got to say on the subject, man. So what you think about the whole code switching thing?
So first, what I'll say is I disagree with you a little bit, depending on the company you're talking about it in. Not all groups necessarily consider it cooning per se. I mean, depending on who you're talking to. If you're talking to that hood brother and then they see you out, and you're in a business meeting and you talking that shit, then they may consider you cooning. But some people, especially amongst younger professionals and shit, they often feel it's a defense mechanism almost, because they don't want to. The belief is that by code switching, you make those who are in those more management positions a little more comfortable around you or whatever. And I give a little story. Way back when I was an intern at NASA, I guess you can consider my boss at the time, she came up to me because I had the fro, the braids, all that shit. I was 19, 20, whatever. And, I wanted to grow my hair out. So I did. Eventually, at the time, I cut my hair. One of those, maybe a week or two afterwards, because she didn't talk to me too much. And then afterwards, when I cut my hair, she was like, I'm glad, I like your haircut. It looks more presentable, and you seem more approachable now. I'm a kid. I don't know no better, but I knew she was on some bullshit. So a lot of times I have a feeling that, it's an intimidation factor, because, you see people in the movies and shit and you think we loud and cussing and ghetto and all that shit. But no, we can chop it up on any topic you want to. Then I thought about it in the concept of the little gathering I was at, and I was the only brother there. And cool, doesn't make a difference to me. So what I felt is not necessarily that the way I talk changed, the concept that I discussed changed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know
So,
exactly what you mean.
And I feel like that's not necessarily because of code switching or whatever. It's just, I try to, be versed in a multitude of things.
Gotta
So
adapt to your environment.
yeah. So therefore, I mean, I can talk guns, golf, whiskey, stocks, the Fed. I can talk sports a little bit. I can talk, firearms. I can talk, I can cover a broad spectrum of shit. I can't talk about current rappers. Can't do that shit at all. If you're talking about, 90 rappers, I can talk, big. I can quote hip hop lyrics. I got all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you what I was doing with Juicy Dropped, all that shit. And then I think that's where it fits in for me. I don't think it's necessarily like I get more proper and stand up straighter. And because sometimes you'll hear them like they'll like a brother with a deeper voice will raise their voice up a little bit so it's not as intimidating, or they'll tend to mimic in some respects. If you've ever seen it in a conversation, they'll mimic the speech patterns of the person they're talking with. They'll get those fake chuckles and all that shit. And
I know who does that.
I do too. I don't do that shit. That shit's stupid. But I mean, if it's funny, it's funny. I'm gonna laugh. But I think, like I said, in some, aspects, they feel like they have to do that. And I mean, I think it's not necessarily cooning per se, but sometimes it's a defense mechanism. And like I said, for me, I don't necessarily change how I talk. I just pivot what I'm talking about for the situation. And I can do that with any group that I'm in. If I'm at the barbershop chopping it up with the fellas and we're talking about whatever, you know what I'm saying, I can do that. And that's more of a function of being able to adapt to the surroundings, the conversations you're in, and the company you're in, not necessarily trying to code switch to be, to prevent someone thinking that you're an angry black man or some shit like that. So for those that feel like you have to code switch, I mean, I get it, I understand it, but be who you are. I mean, I think it's easier that way. But if you feel that you can't give them your jeans and hoodie, gold chain, Black Air Force One energy at the workplace, I got it. I understand. So just, figure out a way to be you. And I think you've mentioned it before, like you're you in every situation, but you don't show everybody all of who you are all the time because you can't. And I think that's the way you find a way to be authentic in different situations. And that's what I strive to be.
Because, and you're right, it's still, it's still genuine.
Yeah.
But the defense mechanism thing, you're absolutely correct. But however, I don't agree that we should even fucking have one.
Sure. I don't disagree with that at all.
Now the adaptability thing, that's something else. That's something I completely fucking agree with, because a lot of our people aren't, as adaptable with, I'm from the hood. They're gonna see this hood shit. I'm gonna keep this shit hood, rah. That's why with the little situation I had this fucking morning, I was just like, ooh, y'all shouldn't have seen that side, but it came out, whatever. You definitely got to be adaptable. If you can't adapt, you can't grow. If you can't grow, you can't evolve. So that's not necessarily code switching. That's, what I'm saying, like you said, you adapting. I could talk to motherfuckers about anime. I could talk to people about rock and roll. I could talk to motherfuckers about guns. All a lot of the same shit that you can talk about, I could talk about too. Plus the, the new age fucking rappers and shit like that. Because I got teenagers, and one of my soldiers is a DJ, and he's like 22, 23, some shit like that. So you don't necessarily, like you said, you don't necessarily have to code switch. Definitely be who the fuck you are, but decide which piece of that person you actually give them. Yeah. And I say don't base it on the demographic that's around you either. Like, oh my God, I'm around a whole bunch of white people, so let me adjust fire. Now, quick little story, because it's mainly in our community, but when I was stationed in Fort Lewis, the majority of the people I hung around, white. They're my brothers right there. Still my brothers. When we would get there, they would change the music. Like, they're playing their rock, their country, all this other shit, you know what I'm saying? But as soon as I step in the door, I don't know why, they think all black people like Plies. But as soon as I walk in the door, they cut off fucking Plies immediately.
Yeah, it was like that at the place we went to for Keontae's birthday. The little gaming place. They did the same shit.
Like, y'all, I don't agree with, you know what I'm saying? Like, number one, especially with that situation in particular, like my dog, that's your house. Play what fucking music you want to play. Secondly, that puts people on to different shit. Like,
yeah,
I wasn't
really.
Yeah, I wasn't a big rock or country fan. You know, growing up, you know, Georgetown, we listened to what we listening to. That man, ain't about listening to that white people shit. But you know, as I grew older and I learned a little more history about, you know, rock and everything like that, I kind of, you know, embraced it. And that's what, not code switching, but adapting to fucking teach you to learn some new shit, get into some new shit. Cause I be rocking the fucking 3 Days Grace. I don't even think that know if they make music no more, but 3 Days Grace is my shit. Y'all check them out if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, man. But at the end of it, I completely agree with you this time, motherfucker. But it's gonna come a day, ladies and gentlemen.
That's fine.
It's just it just so happened that this motherfucker makes sense and I ain't as hard headed as I used to be. but yeah,
I will say one thing though. I will say, don't worry so much about code switching. Learn. I mean, because I'll tell you now. I mean, I've gotten into certain conversations because I know whiskeys and cigars.
Yeah.
And really, I mean, and that's for real, because that's what happened at the thing. That guy was trying to think of a whiskey, and I was like, you're talking about Basil Hayden, right? And he was like, oh shit, he knows his shit.
Yeah, and that face they get.
Yeah,
when they think you just some ignorant ass black dude that don't know shit, and then when you hit them with that bow, they're like, oh my god, man, that fucking expression is priceless. I love that.
Yeah, I got one of those too. When we were finishing up the car paperwork, and the guy, I was like, damn, that's all. We can't do any better than that. And he was like, oh, well, you know, they're raising interest rates. I was like, well, you do realize that the Fed's not raising interest rates until March 16th at the earliest. And they're talking only of 0.25% of a point. And he was like, oh, okay.
This motherfucker knows his shit. I do that shit in the army too, bro. Like, I'll throw out a fucking army rag real fucking quick. And they be like, oh, shit. I love that shit, man. I live for shit like that.
You know your shit. Yeah.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
That's been half of my career doing that kind of shit. It's fun.
Yeah, man. I had to learn.
Yeah. So you guys, tell us what you think. Have you experienced somebody who you thought was code switching in a situation? Do you code switch?
Yeah. Are you the code switcher?
Despite the way he made it sound, it's not necessarily a negative thing. Let us know why you do it and what scenarios you code switch in. That'd be fun to hear.
Oh yeah, most definitely. So man, I was going back and forth about getting this fucking game. It's real popular right now, Elden Rings, man. I know a lot of people that got it. I actually hit my partner cousin up because he was actually playing it. He's one of my Xbox friends or whatever. So I asked him, was it any good? And he says it's kind of like Dark Souls. I'm like, fuck that, man. That shit's too goddamn hard. What the fuck? That's not enjoyable. Who gonna enjoy playing that game? You be stressed out coming home from work to fucking cool down and you're stressed out playing the game too? No, I'm not playing that shit, man. So, but that being said, and you actually thought about it because of the fucking Elden Rings, are video games too hard?
Well, I mean, I think it depends on the time. I mean, I think one of the things that's going on now is people kind of feel like everybody should be able to play every game. And I don't necessarily think that's the case. I mean, I think just like you were like Dark Souls, fuck that shit, it's too hard. Some people love that challenge. Some people, that's what they're looking for. You know what I mean? That's part of like why people play a Dark Souls game. And I think Dark Souls is by the same people that did Elden Rings, if I remember correctly. And the other, what's the samurai game that's hard as fuck?
Man, don't you mention that bullshit to me. Don't mention that shit to me.
So, I mean, I think there's a place for it. And I think, you know, when people are crying like, oh, it should have an easy mode and, oh, it should do this and, oh, it should do that. I mean, if it takes away from the game mechanic, I don't think it should. If that's the way, I mean, because sometimes you got to look at a video game like art. You know what I mean? And if that's what the artist intended for you to get your ass beat and figure that shit out, you know, that's fine. I mean, think about way back when. Remember the Ninja Turtles fucking game and swimming in the swimming level?
Oh, that shit was so hard. That shit one time in my fucking life, dog.
Right.
One time.
That shit is hard as fuck.
And then you move on to the Ninja Turtle van afterwards.
Yes. So Nintendo games was fucking hard as fuck. I mean, growing up, fucking Shinobi, Ninja Gaiden is hard as fuck. Ninja Gaiden has always been hard as fuck. I mean, that was kind of like the gold standard for difficult games until Dark Souls and all that shit came out. So, I mean, I think if you're crying about a game, it's too hard, play something else. I'm not going to play Dark Souls. You're not playing Dark Souls and Elden Ring and all that shit. I'm going to play shit that's going to be fun to me when I do game. And if the shit, I find it hard and I don't like it, I mean, sometimes it's hard and there's a challenge. Sometimes the shit's just hard and stupid. And
possibly so.
Yeah, for you. And, you know, and so I think you just have to know that everything ain't for everybody and move on. I mean,
most definitely.
Right. I mean, go to GameStop and sell that bitch back and go on about your business and call it a day. I mean, you ain't got to bitch about it and get on TikTok and social media and talk about how they need to put an easy mode in, they need to put a cheat code in. I mean, I do remember back as kids growing up, game genies and shit like that. And so
damn boy, you showing your age like a motherfucker right now.
I don't give a fuck. So shit, remember fucking Contra? Contra was fucking hard.
Yeah.
So I mean, hard games are nothing new. I mean, I just think it's people because they have a voice and complain about the shit. They complain. And I mean, and there have been certain games, I can't think of them off the top of my head right now, where the developers are like, oh, we're so sorry. We're going to make some tweaks through an update to make it a little more accessible or put an easy mode in there or add a cheat or something in there. And I don't think you should necessarily do that. I mean, any game is hard and you want to try to get through it with enough practice and time, you'll figure the shit out eventually. So grind through that shit, figure it out, man. Stop bitching. What do you think?
I'm about to start bitching.
Well, and it's funny. I, as the not really gamer, I'll say the casual gamer, I say stop bitching. You was the gamer, you about to bitch. So
I'm about to start bitching. So first of all, we're gonna talk about that samurai type game you was talking about called fucking Sicario. That shit was fucking ridiculous how fucking hard that was, man. That shit was just fucking stupid. I spent fucking 3 fucking weeks in a fucking intro, bro. The goddamn intro. I ain't even make it past the fucking intro. Like, who does that? Like, and the fucking bitch with the butterflies, fuck that hoe. God damn it. That shit was fucking ridiculously hard.
Yes.
Like, you mad as fuck. You remember how you a little kid? I know I won. I know I did it. I got that shit. That's good. I was just like that with that fucking. I know I hit that bitch 3 times with the fucking ninja stars. I killed that bitch. Fuck this damn game. Damn, broke a couple of goddamn controllers, man. Okay. All right.
Yes,
now
keep going.
I'm back.
Shit. Yes, keep going.
So I thought about Elden Rings. I'm like, okay, that shit seemed like it's gonna have Dragon Age vibe. George R. Martin, you know, as an executive produced it or, you know, helped make it or whatever. So I thought it was gonna be pretty.
Oh, I know that. Dope. That's cool.
Yeah, so I thought it was gonna be pretty fucking dope. Until it's about time for it to come out. So I'm like, all right, let me start looking up gameplay, because that's what I do now. Instead of just buying the game, I check the gameplay out with some shit that I'm not too sure about or never played before. So checking out the gameplay, and it was like, you know, if you like Dark Souls and all this other shit. My partner, my partner's cousin, well, I could say he's my partner too. Shout out to Zach. He said, yeah, if you like Dark Souls, you like this shit. And I didn't like Dark Souls. I didn't. I mean, I didn't. It was fucking hard for no reason. Like, you know, I'm gonna chop up some shit. Died. All right, it's cool. I like a little bit of a challenge. Died. Okay, all right, fuck it. Died. Man, fuck this game, bro. I'm playing Madden. But there's actually a culture for these type of games like Dark Souls, Sicario, Sikihario, however the fuck you pronounce that bullshit shit. Fuck that butterfly lady. Kiss my ass, man. That shit had me high.
That shit is funny.
That shit had me high.
That shit's funny.
And, you know, games like that, there's I guess you could say it's like a fetish akin to like a masochist, where they play these hard games. I actually looked I looked at a video or some shit about it, and they play these games because they are, for the most part, unbeatable. You know what I'm saying? And they beat them. They play it for the thrill or the rush of it being so motherfucking hard. Like I said in the beginning of this fucking segment, I don't play the fucking game for that shit. That's not what I do. I got temper problems and shit, man. I can't just be, you know, I come home to relax, not, oh, fuck, oh, shit, fuck this game. Daddy, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Just completely. I didn't say that. I didn't do that, people, to my kids.
Dark Souls is causing divorces and shit.
Yeah, like, babe, what you want for dinner? You know what? fuck you and your fucking stub toe, you stupid bitch. Like none of that. You know what I'm saying? No, like I didn't do none of that, but that's the type of shit that'll take you there. And yeah, like you said, some people are built for those type of games. That's what they do. But those are the motherfuckers who are fucking 30-year-old virgins living in their fucking mama's basement. I don't give a fuck if y'all don't like it. Kiss my ass. To some extent, some of them games, I think this is as an avid gamer or whatever, it's sometimes it's ridiculously hard. I like a challenge, but the type of gamer I am, that and that's a big one too. Depends on what type of gamer you are.
Right.
So the type of gamer I am, if I'm playing stuff like, RPGs and stuff like that have a storyline, I don't play more for the challenge of the game. I play more for the fucking story. So I don't give a fuck if it's on easy, normal, hard, what the fuck ever. But if you're that type of fucking gamer that's just, oh man, I just love getting crushed by this fucking boulder in Dark Souls. I'm not going to YouTube how to beat it. I even YouTube fucking the Sicario shit, and I still was getting my motherfucking ass whooped every fucking time. Stupid old bitch with the butterflies. Fuck her, man. But
I'm gonna go look up gameplay tonight just so I can see this butterfly shit.
Fuck that bitch with the fucking butterflies and shit. Stupid ass motherfucker. Anyway, see you taking me there. You open up a wound, man. That's trauma. That's trauma for me. Because I was so fucking excited for this fucking game, man. And that was around the time of Ghost of Tsushima was about to come out. That shit, you had on that game, you could like jump on roofs and shit. So I thought it was gonna give me that Assassin's Creed fucking feel. And then I get to the fucking intro and I fight the first big mega boss, and I died 7 fucking times. 7. And I'm like, man, I know I fucking killed him, bro. I hit him with that motherfucker. Man, I don't even give a fuck no more. Fuck this goddamn game, man. But at the end of it, like I said, some people, like I said, it's a fetish for some people.
Let me ask you a question on that though. So what I'm also seeing though is we're in a world of social media, and everybody has a voice and everybody gives their opinion and talks about what they should do. Do you feel that for those games that are notoriously hard or famous for being difficult as fuck, do you feel that the game developers should make it easier, or should they just say, this is my shit, this is what I wanted, you either figure it out, get good, or play something else? Because I mean, I hear what you've done, and that's kind of what you've done, is just play something else.
I said, fuck it, I'm not gonna play no more. And I think they shouldn't change a fucking thing. To me, that's on the same level as kind of fucking selling out. Fuck that. You have this certain fucking audience that loves this hard shit. You had this fucking design in your motherfucking head. Like you said, now that was a very good analogy or whatever, that, it's kind of like art. That's exactly what the fucking artist wanted to be. Yeah, no, you're not gonna dumb that shit down.
Right.
The motherfucker who created the goddamn light bulb ain't dumb that shit down. So no, they shouldn't fucking dumb that shit down at fucking all. They should create this shit just how they fucking want it, as a person who's created shit, books and all that other shit. Not a plug. And that's just like motherfuckers telling us, oh, y'all shouldn't cuss so much on fucking Fowl Language. Fuck that. Kiss my ass. Don't watch it. And it's the same concept with those type of games. Play that shit. If that's your shit, play that shit. I actually enjoyed, what I'm saying, when I was playing the Sicario shit, once again, fuck that butterfly bitch. I did enjoy, after I stopped playing it, watching and seeing how the people actually fucking beat them. And instead of like, man, fuck them motherfuckers, man. I got they 30-year-old fucking virgins stay in their fucking mama basement. It was actually impressive. Like, these motherfuckers are good. God damn, you killed the butterfly bitch. And basically to answer your question, to sum it all up, not sorry, is no, don't change a goddamn thing. Don't change a thing. Only way you would change a thing, especially in the gaming industry or whatever, if you're not getting no motherfucking sales, if your fucking video game's not selling. Like the Sicario, fuck the butterfly bitch. I don't think the sales of that shit went very well, because I think a lot of gamers were expecting it to be just like I was expecting it to be.
I had to check the numbers, but it got pretty popular because of that reason.
It did get popular later on. The initial was motherfuckers wasn't fucking with it.
Yeah.
But later on, that shit got fucking pretty big, because like you said, people like that shit. So, by all means, do what you do. And it's the same thing with like Grand Theft Auto. I hate fucking racing games. I hate fucking racing in Grand Theft Auto because I can't never beat it. Never beat fucking Vice City because of the fucking racing. Shit sent me in a fucking rage also. But that's besides the point. I'm getting off subject. But yeah, to answer your question, don't change your goddamn thing.
All right, everybody. Where my gamers at? Let us know what you think. Let us know if you played them. Let us know if you got a copy of that Elden Rings. It is Elden Rings, right? Yeah.
Yep. Elden.
Let us know if you got a copy of that and it's kicking your ass right now.
Yeah. And how did you beat Butterfly bitch, man? Tell me.
All right. This one's kind of been in the news a little bit. People have been talking about it. People have been talking about it on social media here and there. My thoughts on it have probably evolved over the past year or so, but I wanted to get your take on it and see what you think. So, for the next Black Panther movie, do you feel that they should recast Black Panther, or say Chadwick Boseman is and forever will be the only Black Panther there is?
I think they should definitely recast it.
Mm-hmm.
I really think they should. Like, being that, what's her name, the actress to play Shuri, she got like injured or something because she was supposed to be the new Black Panther, but got injured. Like, I was really excited to see that. But and a lot of people say it. I really don't like using that term, but fuck it. Black Panther was a cultural fucking movie for us, man.
Sure.
Like, yeah, I think they should definitely recast. I mean, you're gonna look at it sideways because it ain't Chadwick, but for everybody out there who watch, like, let's say Spartacus, I was unsure how it was gonna be when they recast Spartacus, but it turned out fucking great. Yeah. I say give it a fucking chance. You know what I'm saying? It's still gonna be Black Panther, and it's still gonna have the same concept. It's just a different actor. Like, I even seen they was trying to switch it to where M'Baku becomes Black Panther or some shit like that, or whatever the case is. But they can work that bitch to where you know what I'm saying, Chadwick Boseman dies off on the show also and flips this shit a little bit, because even when the shit was really like popping about it, his brother or something like that wants them to recast that shit.
Yeah, he does.
They say it's really fucking important. And I think it's important too on a whole nother level, because black people melanin people, melanin people was, you know, that the Wakanda Forever was our shit. Yeah. I did it myself, you know what I'm saying? I go into Walmart and like, Wakanda Forever, and the greeter, she Wakanda Forever. I'm like, you know, that was our shit for a minute, man. So I think that's a real important thing. And, you know, even though melanin superheroes and stuff is really starting to get some light, especially in the like graphic novel scene or whatever, we're really starting to get some light. Other than in the Marvel universe, other than Blade, Black Panther's that shit. Black Panther's that shit. So yes, I think they should definitely fucking recast it. But it has to be the right person, though. You can't just, it has to be somebody right. You know, I'm not saying they already have to be established or anything. It could be a brand new fucking actor, but he has to do the shit right. So I'm gonna let you answer it also, but I'm gonna add a question on top of that shit. Okay. Is, who would you like to play Black Panther if he was recast? Your turn.
I'm gonna say that for the end because I had to think about that one a little bit. Damn. All right. Yeah. So I'm gonna give it my thoughts. So first of all, when they cast Chadwick Boseman for Black Panther, that was like the fucking god tier level perfect casting, man. I mean, and he was the perfect Black Panther. I mean, the only gripe I had with Black Panther as he was portrayed in the thing is they didn't make him as smart as he is in the comics. That's the only thing that I didn't like. But otherwise, perfect. Top 10. So initially I was like, you know, going with the comics, there's precedent in the comics for Shuri to become the Black Panther. And what I was saying initially was let her be the Black Panther and use some of the old footage and, you know, some of the Disney CGI magic and make it so when she taps in, like, let her tap into some of the powers of the dead powers that Black Panther has more recently. And
like they did Luke Skywalker.
Yeah. Okay. So kind of use some of that. So like when she's talking and conversing with the Black Panthers of old, he's there. And, you know, she's not.
I'm sorry. That'd be dope.
Yeah. So that was my initial way to do it. Is you can use bits and pieces of footage from him. He's still there. You can still have that legacy and you can move on and still have a Black Panther in the MCU. Then I went through M'Baku or Okoye, and then if you watch Marvel What If, in another timeline, Killmonger becomes the Black Panther through some reasons. So you could do that, and it could still work, or bringing him over. And if you see the Doctor Strange trailer, that dark Doctor Strange looks like he's in it from another timeline. So you could easily do some fucking up of the timelines between Loki and Doctor Strange's movie and show respectively, and merge them to where you do some of that shit, kind of like they did in the comics where they brought Miles Morales into the main universe. You could do some shit like that, because they're bringing the X-Men back. If you see in the trailer,
I heard about it. I ain't seen the trailer yet. I'm gonna go look at that.
You can't see him, but Patrick Stewart is there. And
I heard.
And so with all that and some of the direction and some of the things that I could potentially have seen, that has changed my opinion. And here's why. Because you need a T'Challa Black Panther to do some of the shit that I would love to see them do going forward. Always pay respect to Chadwick Boseman. Always.
Yeah,
but I think you have to, for the sake of the character and the sake of what you have to do. And just, Shuri in the timeline, she's not ready yet. I mean, the way her character is, she's not ready to be Black Panther yet. And I don't think that would be a realistic transition for me as a Black Panther fan to make her Black Panther right now. Plan to do it in the future, but not right now. Because, I mean, the way they play her in the thing, she's like a teenager. So let her grow and be technologically advanced and go there. But the thing is, with the comics now, with the way it seems, it looks like they're going to be introducing the Illuminati in the upcoming Doctor Strange movie. And you got to have a Black Panther eventually in the Illuminati, because some of the shit happens in Wakanda. You got to do that. And then also, one of the theories out there in the Doctor Strange trailer is the Blue Marvel might be in it. I mean, they're setting it up, and there was a run called the Ultimates, and you've got Monica Rambeau is already there. Captain Marvel's there. They just brought in, I think her name is America Chavez. Who else is on that team? Like I said, Adam Brashear, Blue Marvel. And if you ever get time, look at a story on Blue Marvel. That is probably one of my top 10 stories in comics, period.
Like, I've seen the name before.
Cold as fuck. I've got all the books except for the first one. I've been trying to find the first one. Cold as fuck. Maybe one day we'll talk about, and offline I'll tell you what that story is about, but that shit is cold as fuck. I mean, it gets into like racism in a classy way. It has an overpowered character that's believable. He's brilliant. Shit's cool. So I think you could have the Ultimates and you could have the Illuminati, and there's all these things that you can do with a T'Challa in it. I mean, yes, you could do it with Shuri, but I think it makes sense to have a T'Challa in it. And that, for those reasons, why I feel like you need to do a recasting, but be very careful and respectful. And usually they make pretty good casting decisions. Eternals, maybe. That movie was kind of weak anyway, but I mean, like, Marshall Ali as Blade is a good casting. Fucking Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man was a good casting. Thor. I hate that they did like the Smart Hulk. I hate that they went that route with him. But Black Widow, I mean, most of the castings are pretty good, man. I mean, and so I think they could take that time, that energy, that effort, and find might be a good theater actor somewhere that's doing some shit that could make a good Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? So I think for the future of that particular character, we need a T'Challa, man. And so I think for that, like I said, do it with respect, but still cast a T'Challa moving forward as Black Panther, man.
Interesting. Now to my second question, sir.
Fuck that question, man.
My second question. Come on, man. Who you think would, if they recast it, who would be a good actor to, and you, because you can't use Michael B. Jordan.
No, so if I can't use Michael B. Jordan, and I'm thinking about it, I mean, it would be a different. I mean, because they recast War Machine or Rhodey with Don Cheadle for Terrence Howard. So I mean, it worked. I mean, people were pissed off about it at the beginning, but granted, different scale of who the actor is, and there's been other recastings too. Thinking about it, oh, that's tough, man. All right, so thinking about it, I mean, originally before, I would have said, I'm gonna fuck his name up. I apologize in advance. Chiwetel Ejiofor, but he's already in it as Doctor Strange's enemy / old friend, Baron Mordo, or
what else is he in?
He was in 12 Years a Slave. He was in a lot of
Oh
shit.
yeah.
Honestly,
That would have been a good one.
thinking about it now, I don't think he'll ever do it. But Denzel Washington's son is who I'm gonna go with right now, because I'm also thinking about their age, because you don't want them too old, because you've got some years in that character. So on the spot, gun to my head, that's who I'm gonna say for right now.
It's not a bad pick. It's not a bad pick at all.
Who would you say, since you threw that curveball my way?
Oh man, see, I had time to think just a little bit, and just thinking about it, and his level of acting, and he hasn't really been in a movie. He's relatively new, kind of. But I don't know his real name, but the lead actor who plays Spencer James in All American, I think he would be pretty dope as a T'Challa. I think he would do really good. And he's around that same age range too. So like you were saying, so I think he would be really good.
So again, I'm gonna turn it back to you guys. Let us know who you think. Should they do the recasting? If so, who should they recast as? I'd love to see that list. And maybe we'll spend some time chopping it up over the people who they suggest and seeing what we think. Damn, that was a tough question, man. That was real tough.
You're welcome.
Whatever. All right,
but yeah, Denzel Washington's son, that would be a good look.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking on like more like, I guess, simplistic type shit, like his skin tone, for example. And shit like that. That would be pretty good. That would be pretty good.
Go ahead. I wanted somebody who was a good caliber actor, but hasn't been oversaturated and stuff. And you throw them in everything. Well, all right, man. We're near the end. Final cigar check-in. Tell me about your accessories.
Man, look, like I said in the earlier check-in, that was a really good pairing, first of all. But Jameson was good. Really fucking smooth. I forgot how smooth it was, because you know, by the time I start drinking your shit, I'm already fucked up, and you're like, here, try this.
Yeah.
And you motherfucker. It was pretty good, and the cigar was really potent. It's really good. Not potent where I'm feeling like fucked up, but I'm like so relaxed. I'm really glad I had a fucking cigar today. I think I was gonna do one anyway today, but I went ahead and put it out. It was about done anyway, and I'll go ahead and show it. As you can see, this motherfucker started unraveling and cracking this shit real bad at the end.
I mean, but shit, you were done, man. I mean,
that shit.
Some people stop before there, so you good.
So that, I mean, all in all, hey man, that shit was really fucking good, man. It's not on the same level of the
Placencias.
Yeah, the Placencia, or the one that Sis hooked me up with.
The Padron.
Yeah, the Padron. That Padron. That's probably my favorite. Not bad, man. Not bad. Pretty good pairing tonight, man. How about you?
Yeah, well, you have to check them out. You know, you get that 50% off discount for Black Lion.
Yeah.
So it's more of them. So let's see. My pairing, the Mysterious Tiger, it's a little milder than what I usually smoke. But it's pretty good. And like I said, I mean, it's been performing fantastic. I think I've touched it up twice just from letting it sit. Performance is good. It goes great with the beer. I think I would have liked it with like a wine or something. If I ever get some more, if they have some more, I'll try with a wine next time. Still good pairing. Beer was good. Cigar was good. Kind of like you said, you probably would have smoked one tonight anyway. I probably would have too. Just like last night, I was out here, so might as well. But with that, great accessories, man. Shout out to, I don't give them enough credit, man, but shout out to My Cigar Pack, man. I really appreciate what they're doing, man. They do a lot. They try a lot of different shit. And I feel like while I don't like it all the time, I feel like they are trying to do like different shit. And
gotta see what works.
Yeah, they've had some of my favorite cigars in there, and they've had some of my least favorite cigars in there. And then some of the promotions, some of the things they're doing, I really like what they're doing. So at one point I was thinking about canceling them, but I'm so glad I didn't, because I really like what they're doing. And this is one of theirs. So I think this is like one of their first house brands. So good for them.
Shout out to them.
Good for them. All right, everybody, before we wrap up, I have a quote tonight.
Yes, sir, with the quote.
Found this quote on Instagram and it just kind of spoke to me. So here we go. I like to give credit where it's due. It's from I think her name is pronounced Elizabeth Akinwale. I think her name is pronounced. She's in Chicago. I found her from when I used to follow CrossFit. I would follow everybody who's Black in CrossFit, and it wasn't very many. I've learned a lot of fitness shit from her. She has this quote and it says, avoidance is not a solution. It actually leads to more problems. Simple quote. And she's talking about it in like a fitness aspect of like avoiding the problem areas. And that shit applies to everything, man. It's dope.
Hell yeah.
So I thought it was a good quote. Simple quote, but effective. So
that's I've actually learned that fucking firsthand, bro. Avoiding some shit and that shit come bite you in your ass 2 times harder later. You just gotta tackle that shit head on. Hell of a quote, bro.
Yep. So with that, you got anything else for the people?
Like always, man, like, subscribe, share to the Fowl Language Podcast, guys. Hey, man, support is fucking free. Y'all go ahead and support the Men and the Warriors Podcast. MF and Research. Hopefully episode 3 is coming soon.
Now that I got my setup, it'll be starting every Friday.
Right on. And everybody, y'all just be safe out there and all that good stuff.
Yes, sir.
That's really all I got, bro.
All right, everybody. Like I always say, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. With that, we out.
Yes, sir. We out. Perfect.